So Ronaldo's in at United, Lukaku's in at Chelsea, big money. Jack's in at Manchester City, 100 million quid from Villa. So where are we at this morning time with Liverpool? What have we got to tell all the many listeners all around the country, all around the world tuned into talkSPORT this morning? They tied down Jordan Henderson. He has extended his contract at the football club. This has not gone down well with the Liverpool fans. Hashtag FSG out is trending at this time.
That's constructive.
Now, I'm looking at some of the reaction to this. Liverpool fans, obviously...
that's just absurd, though, isn't it?
Well, hang on a second. He lifted
absurd.
The Champions League trophy above his head over in Madrid when they beat Tottenham. But here's a sample. I'm just looking at some of the reaction from Liverpool fans. You really announced this extension at the end of the transfer window. This is damage limitation. I'm sick of this technique. Here's another one. Jordan, congratulations, Hendo. But we literally saw this one coming. You can extend contracts any time of the year. You lot, FSG, decide to announce it on deadline day when our attacking options are down to the bare bones. This is disgusting.
Disgusting.
Liverpool fans not happy. And there are more. I could read out many more.
A selection of Liverpool fans aren't happy.
Right.
Is their manager unhappy? And Jurgen Klopp is not backward about coming forward. Is he unhappy? Because he's the one that they all look to. He's the one that inspires Liverpool fans. Is he unhappy? Because I don't get the impression he's one of those people that toes the line, doesn't say what he thinks, doesn't say what's politically correct because it keeps him in a job.
Yeah.
I don't hear, and maybe I've not been listening carefully enough, I don't hear Klopp complaining.
Well, even if he was going to complain, would he complain? Would he put it out there in the public domain?
Yes.
Look at what the others have done. Look at what the big boys have done.
Of course
Lukaku's
he does.
in at Chelsea.
Of course he does.
Ronaldo's in at United. All the publicity of deadline day is the focus is on United at the moment. Jack was in earlier at City because they paid the 100 million.
All the focus is...
Liverpool, to a degree, Simon, you could argue, have stood still.
But with the greatest respect in the world, all the focus is based upon the media. Who cares what the media thinks to some extent? It's what the player does on the pitch. Ronaldo is big news right now, and it excites the media. It's headline stuff, and I understand why we're going to keep spinning these news cycles about Ronaldo. But
news cycles? The fans care.
Yeah,
I just read you a selection of Liverpool
I understand
fans.
that, but the point is that if you look at who they look to and who they trust and who fans, they don't trust the owners, they never trust the finances behind football clubs to some extent, and you look at it and say, who do they trust in? Well, we love the manager. Okay, what does the manager think about it? Manager doesn't seem to have a problem. I'll ignore him for the time being because it doesn't suit our argument. But the FSG are disgusting. I mean, have you ever heard anything so ridiculous? I tell you who are disgusting, for people that ruin football clubs, people that don't give a monkeys about them. They could have an argument about the Horlicks that was made of Liverpool by Hicks and Gillette. I mean, come on. Really? Is that constructive? It's a stupid comment from stupid people. They have a right to be passionate about their football club.
Lucas says he's a huge Liverpool fan. We've sold Wijnaldum, Shaqiri, Wilson, Grujic, and Firmino's injured. FSG, what are you up to? No signings, what are you doing?
Right. But the bottom line is that if you're hearing your manager who speaks out regularly about things he doesn't like, talks about the nature of football turning into a certain game that he didn't like because of the free-flowing football the referees being asked to play, regularly talks about the Premier League scheduling last year, isn't backward about coming forward, doesn't seem to have a problem with the playing squad that he's got. And maybe I've not heard him. I mean, if you can correct me, then that's fine.
Well,
so
what he said is
so he doesn't have a problem.
We have a stadium. We have you'll never walk alone.
Yeah.
You can't sign the Anfield anthem. That kind of thing. That's not going down well. Angelico, massive Liverpool fan. Shame on you for putting Henderson's contract right to the final day, deadline day. You could have done it in any other day. We need signings today. Hashtag FSG out.
Let's reverse the argument the other way.
Are they covering up here?
Let's argue. Well, they might be. They might not be. Let's reverse the argument the other way. FSG have just sold 10% of their media rights or their shareholding in FSG, which own Liverpool and own the Boston Red Sox. So they've raised 500 million quid to fill some of the gaps that have obviously been put into place by the pandemic and so on and so forth. So there is an argument that suggests that perhaps they should be investing some money to keep pace with United, City and Chelsea and their spending pattern. But are we hearing Liverpool's manager saying that this isn't good enough? Because if I'm hearing that from Klopp, who does not have to be concerned about what he says and can say things within reason because he's in such an unassailable position, if I'm hearing it from Klopp, I'm going to turn around and say, wow, Liverpool really should be doing more than they're currently doing. But I'm not hearing it from Klopp.
Well, let's cut them a bit of slack. They got Kanate in, didn't they?
Yeah,
much earlier on in the window.
They spent 36 million quid, haven't they?
So he's come through the door.
They've got Virgil van Dijk back, right?
Liverpool fans are standing watching everybody else do business, and Henderson extends his contract, but on deadline day. And their point is, Why have you chosen to hold out on deadline day to make it look like it's a new signing when it's not?
Okay, but we were debating Henderson's contract and whether he was going to sign it and what was going to be done with it. It might just be a case where they've just put it out because they've just agreed it. And it might now look, we're joining the dots backwards and go, well, that's dreadful, that is, because that's the only piece of news that's coming out of Liverpool on transfer deadline day is that they've renewed someone's contract that exists already. Yeah, I can understand why Liverpool fans are a little bit troubled by that, but I don't think it veers into the territory of it's disgusting and FSG out. I mean, hold on a little bit. You know, I'm all for fans having very strong views, and I'm all for the fact that the football club survives because of the emotivity of fans and the passion and the commitment. It's their football club. But come on with the hyperbole. Come on with the unnecessary rhetoric about it's disgusting. I mean, that gets into the territory of saying, oh, shut up. You can't take someone seriously when you've got the playing squad that's probably worth hundreds and hundreds of millions of quid. You're a very good side with very good players and a very good manager. It's not disgusting. Maybe people, maybe they didn't want to buy Lukaku and they don't want 36-year-old Ronaldo. And maybe the players that they were looking at doesn't necessarily tick the boxes for them. It's not ideal. If your competitors are going to spend 120 million quid, then perhaps you should too.
So, well, that's the point.
And that's
another them for not reacting to the fact that City spent 100 on Jack, that Chelsea spent 90 plus on Lukaku, that Ronaldo was in at United on huge wages. Do you respect Liverpool more that they're not reacting?
I can't argue both sides of the coin, can I? I can't sit here and say that on one hand, if you don't match your opposition, then you're not going to be successful. But I'm trying to understand from Liverpool's point of view and from their manager's point of view why it is that they're not strengthening. Is it simply because FFG are holding back the funds, or is it because Klopp is relaxed about his playing squad, or is it because the players that they've gone after are not available to them or they can't get? But from the point of view of Liverpool fans, what I'm objecting to is not the Liverpool fans' right to say this isn't good enough, but some of the language that's being used veers into the territory of people being ridiculous. It's not disgusting, is it, Jim? Is it disgusting that someone doesn't buy players because fans think they should? Is that disgusting then? Is that the world we've now moved into?
That's vocabulary that some of them are choosing to use this morning, Simon. Maybe it's over the top, maybe it's not. But Liverpool fans, certainly by and large out there this morning, are looking to see if some business will be done. We shall see. Less than 12 hours to go.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Thursday morning, 10 till 1. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.